Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday afternoon. I'm Julie Roginski here with Michelle Kinney, and this is our daily dispatch for today. If you guys, hi. Here, Michelle Kinney. Oh, and this is our I don't know why I have. Oh, there you go. Oh, Michelle, it has been a crazy day. The chat is talking about dandelions. I don't even know what's going on right now, you guys. It's kind of nuts. So, how are you, Michelle?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right.
It's Thursday. It just seems like an endless stream of bad news and craziness, and I just kind of feel like I refuse to let any of this steal my joy or my humanity, and it's very easy to kind of surrender those things over to the bad people. And the bad forces and the dark forces that want to keep us down and keep us quiet. But we're not doing that today, Julie.
No, we're not. We're not. And by the way, folks, can I just say something? Because I think it bears saying. If you disagree with somebody, and this is actually, I'm not talking about myself or Michelle, but this has been going on more and more in the creator world. If there's a creator with whom you disagree, don't come for him or her like she's, not a human being. Like, I get that everybody here is passionate about certain issues, but let's not forget our humanity while we're at it, because then we're no better than the people we're accusing them of supporting. Okay. I want to talk about something, Michelle. And again, Michelle and I had this conversation. Well, let's just be honest. Michelle and I had this conversation, was it this morning, where we were like,
Yeah.
everything's so dark and things are blah, and we need to like do something fun. And we always do something really fun on Saturdays for sanities, literally, so we could be sane. But we're like, we need to do something more fun and talk about stuff that's great during the week. And then things like what we're about to talk about happen. And then you're like, we can't talk about this stuff, not talk about this stuff, because it's really scary and people should know what's going on. So, you guys, I'm here and we are here to tell you about something that I think you should know about, because it's truly terrifying. And I don't say that lightly. And I think everybody here knows me. People who've been watching us long enough know that I'm not like, oh my God, the vapors. But this one is actually really frightening. And I talked about it a little bit with Olga today in Pax Americana, but I think Michelle and I decided it kind of bears its own show. And I know, Robert, we need a midweek lift. This is not it. So if you don't want to be scared out of your effing mind, you might want to go and watch, I don't know, The Sound of Music or something, because this is not that. Our president has made, or his family has made, at least, this is what's known. There are a lot of things that are not known, but our president has made at least 10 billion, with the B, dollars off of developing land in Saudi Arabia. There's like a Trump Tower in Saudi Arabia. There's like a Trump city that they're developing with the biggest developer in Saudi Arabia, which, by the way, is owned by the equity fund that is owned, it's basically owned by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So Mohammed bin Salman, the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia, the crown prince there, has effectively put $10 billion in the Trump family's pocket. That's not counting the $2 billion he gave, contrary to the wishes of his own financial advisors, to Jared Kushner when Jared left the White House the first time after Trump lost in 2020. And the fact that Jared is back for another round of raising money for his fund, and Saudi Arabia gets basically right of first refusal. So we're talking about, and that's just the stuff that we know. So we know there's at least about 12 to 15 billion with a B that he's given to Ivanka's husband and to the Trump organization, which is being run by, Uday and Qusay there, by the boys, the oldest sons, and God only knows what they're giving Trump in Melania and Trump meme coins, and what they're putting in through the crypto fund that nobody knows about. Okay. I mean, this isn't new, Michelle, right? We know our president's corrupt. However, for all that money, you're wondering, what is Saudi Arabia getting back? And Saudi Arabia is not getting, they don't need Donald Trump to develop land, right? Like everybody knows the Trump organization sucks and their product is shoddy. And if you want to sue me for that, Trump organization, come at me. I have evidence of all of that. What they are getting back is something terrifying. The President of the United States, I should say the Secretary of Defense, Energy, Chris Wright, yesterday signed a agreement. Now, Congress, strangely, this is the kind of agreement that Congress doesn't get to vote on, except that they do get to vote on it, but only if they could override Trump's veto of this whole thing. Like, it's a done deal unless Congress overrides it with a veto. We all know that they're never going to override Trump on anything. It is a 30-year civilian nuclear agreement that will basically eventually permit Saudi Arabia to enrich uranium and reprocess spent nuclear fuel on its own soil. They're the two principal technological pathways by which a civilian nuclear program can be transformed into the capacity to produce weapons material. He's basically letting them enrich uranium. We're now at war with Iran precisely for this reason. And there's so many problems with it about the stuff that we know. The proposed arrangement abandons the most important non-proliferation conditions Washington could have demanded. It doesn't require Saudi Arabia to accept the International Atomic Energy Agency's, the IAEA's additional protocol, which most countries do, which gives inspectors broader access to records and information of suspected undeclared sites. It doesn't require Mohammed bin Salman and Saudi Arabia to renounce uranium enrichment and plutonium reprocessing, which is what the United Arab Emirates accepted in its 2009 agreement with the United States. It allows a joint American-Saudi study of the economics of producing nuclear fuel, and if the study reaches the preferred conclusion, and my friends, you can bet it will, because that's what Mohammed bin Salman wants. I know Michelle's gone, she'll be back. Saudi Arabia would be permitted to enrich uranium or reprocess plutonium domestically. And that's the part of it that's public, and that's alarming enough as it is. But what's terrifying is the undisclosed provisions that are likely far worse. Because the agreement includes 2 secret side letters that the administration is expected to withhold from anybody on the grounds that they contain proprietary commercial information and sensitive national security material. So members of Congress are being asked to judge whether an authoritarian monarchy can approach nuclear latency without seeing every operative promise made to that monarchy. What? Excuse me? It's insane. It's insane. And by the way, this has nothing to do with the Abraham Accords, because Saudi Arabia was not part of the Abraham Accords. So I don't want anybody to think that, Cynthia, that this is part of that. It's not. Look, Saudi Arabia, to be very clear, and I want to go into this, right? Because this merits talking about. This is not a government whose judgment and institutions merit extraordinary trust. So it's got no elected national government capable of restraining Mohammed bin Salman, he of the bone saw. Remember, he is the guy who approved the operation to kill Jamal Khashoggi, an American green card holder who was murdered and dismembered inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. And then, of course, for those of us old enough to remember 9/11, Saudi Arabia's history with terrorism makes the surrender of safeguards with respect to nuclear development even more reckless. Apparently, Saudi Arabia now cooperates extensively with us against Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and you know, they participated in joint actions against terrorist financial networks. But that doesn't erase decades of royal patronage, institutional negligence, and exported extremism by the same regime to whom we're now giving nukes. And yes, Heidi, we are in more danger than 1930s Germany right now, because 1930s Germany did not have weapons to make humanity go extinct, right? And for years, the Saudi government and state-backed religious institutions used oil wealth to spread Wahhabi doctrine through mosques, through schools, through charities, clerics, religious literature, all across the world. And it's not that it was just anti anybody who was not Muslim. They went after many Muslims also. Anybody basically who wasn't part of their extremist Wahhabist worldview, including, many other Muslim viewpoints, they saw as enemies or apostates. And that is who Al Qaeda drew upon within that ecological ecosystem, while Saudi charities and wealthy donors provided some of the money in which the movement depended. And I want to talk about, I want to just quickly talk about, I think Michelle's back now.
I hate StreamYard with the passion of 1,000 or the fire of 1,000 suns.
Okay.
No matter what I did, it wouldn't let me back in. I apologize. Keep going.
Okay. You're very blurry. I don't know if people think Michelle's blurry also, but she's very blurry to me. Okay. I'm just going to keep talking until you figure this out. I just want to talk about the 9/11 Commission's terrorist financing investigation, because again, this isn't ancient history, guys. I think most of us were alive during 9/11. If you weren't alive yet during 9/11, then you obviously have studied it and understand what a completely devastating psychological, military, terrorist attack this was in the United States. And were it not for 9/11, we would not be where we are today, I believe, with Donald Trump. So this is what the 9/11 Commission's terrorist financing investigation described. And if you don't take my word for it, you can go and read it yourself. If you want to go to my Substack, it's linked. It describes Saudi Arabia as the most important fundraising environment for Al Qaeda before the September 11 attacks. And I'll give you an example. The Saudi-based Al Haramain Islamic Foundation illustrates what happens when a royal regime sponsorship, which is, of course, these people, a religious expansion and non-existent oversight converged. For years, this foundation operated internationally under the banner of charity and Islamic education. In 2008, the Treasury Department, so this is after 9/11, many years after 9/11, the Treasury Department designated the entire foundation, including its Saudi headquarters, as a provider of financial and material support to Al Qaeda and other terrorist organizations. And Saudi Arabia eventually helped shut the network down, but it acted after years in which a Saudi institution had exported money, ideology, and logistical support into some of the world's most dangerous jihadist theaters, including here to New York City, where I'm sitting and Michelle's sitting right now, and including to Washington and all around the country. What's even more disturbing is members of the royal family, the Saudi royal family, to whom we are now giving nukes. Let's be clear, these are the people in charge. The declassified congressional inquiry into 9/11. This is the declassified part, guys. I can only imagine what's in the classified part, because of course we buy oil from Saudi Arabia, so God forbid we actually offend them. Found that Princess Haifa bin Faisal, who's the wife of then Saudi ambassador Prince Bandar bin Sultan. Now, if people remember Prince Bandar, he was everywhere after 9/11. He was like glad handling. I lived in Washington at the time. He was like the ambassador. He was glad handling with everybody. He was all over the place. And this woman, Prince Bandar's wife, issued 31 cashier's checks totaling $74,000 to the wife of a guy named Osama Basnan between 1999 and 2001, so right around in the lead up to 9/11, including a standing order sending $2,000 per month to him. Basnan cashed a separate $15,000 check from Prince Bandar's account. This is the ambassador to the United States from Saudi Arabia, while his wife received another $10,000 check. The stated explanation was charitable assistance related to medical or nursing needs, but investigators found no evidence that Basnan's wife had provided the nursing services referenced in the explanation. And here's who Basnan was. The FBI described him as an extremist and supporter of Osama bin Laden. He lived across the street from future hijackers Nawaz al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Mindar. He was a close associate of a guy named Omar al-Bayoumi, and he claimed that he had done more for the hijackers than Bayoumi had. Bayoumi is the guy who provided the two hijackers that I just talked about, Hazmi and Mindar, substantial assistance after they arrived in California. He helped them find housing, become established in San Diego, and congressional investigators basically said there were allegations that Bayoumi was a Saudi intelligence officer and documented his extensive ties to Saudi government institutions and a company associated with the Saudi defense industry. I want to talk about this because this is insane. These are the people to whom we're giving nuclear power. Crazy. Crazy. Came right at the right time, Michelle. I just got done with this whole monologue about who the Saudis are and what they've done to us in the lead up to 9/11. So,
I mean, there's a reason why the Saudis are trying to insert themselves even in our culture by funding things like Live Golf. They're having comedians come over there to entertain their people and paying them obscene amounts of money. Obscene, like more than
yeah.
anybody would ever pay a comedian to do a 20-minute set here in the United States. Um, and because of that, everyone just kind of looks the other way. I mean, when Eric Adams was mayor and he allowed Live Golf to do to have one of their tournaments, I think it was in the Bronx or something like that, like one of Trump's golf
Yeah.
courses. I was like, let's count the amount of miles from ground zero we are to the Saudis holding a golf tournament in the city of New York. Like, every single year we're like, never forget, but we have forgotten. Either that or we just don't care. I don't know. I don't know which it is. Um, and the fact is that Donald Trump and Jared Kushner, and I apologize if I'm repeating something that you've
No.
already said, but are so corrupt and so soulless. Um, Truly psychopaths, that they don't care about any of this. And they'd much rather line their pockets and build their resorts and do whatever it is than to have any allegiance, not only to the United States, but to any Western democracy whatsoever. And they don't care who they have to take out in the process, or who they have to, allow to be tortured and murdered, like journalists like Jamal Khashoggi, who's literally murdered and then
Mm-hmm.
shoved into a suitcase. So, you know, I have to wonder what kind of messaging is going on the right, in MAGA world about this, because the Iran war is already so unpopular. Um, and it seems as though there's a huge bit of hypocrisy here, because we're supposed to be fighting this war in Iran because they're not supposed to have a nuclear weapon, yet we're giving one, or we're letting Saudi Arabia have one, which is going to, I guess, destabilize in some way the region if everyone's just going to have them and be pointing them at each other. um like, what are we doing?
And let me just say, the reason this is dangerous is not just because of Saudi Arabia. Right now in the Middle East, the only country that has nuclear weapons is Israel, right? But Israel doesn't talk about it. I don't know that they've ever admitted, I mean, everybody knows they have them, but they've never admitted, I think, that they have them. And it's a deterrent in the sense that I think it's not stopping Iran from shelling Israel and so on. But the reality is, like, the fact that it's a nuclear power is something.
Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia, if it goes nuclear, it's not going to stop at Saudi Arabia's borders. So the United Arab Emirates, which I've written about extensively, awful funders of genocide in Darfur and Ukraine, they surrendered enrichment and reprocessing under the agreement that they signed back during the Obama years. But if Saudi Arabia receives better terms, which you just have, the UAE is going to have every incentive to demand parity.
Mm-hmm.
And Saudi Arabia and the UAE have competed over oil policy, corporate investment. They've competed over Yemen. They're on both sides of the war in Yemen. Sudan, where again the UAE is funding a genocide. I just want to be very clear about that. Every time you wear an Emirates shirt, my friends who support
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, every time you wear an Etihad shirt or a jersey, just understand you're advertising for a genocidal regime.
Mm-hmm.
Their relationship has been very strained. Like, they pretend
Mm-hmm.
they're friendly, but the reality is they can't stand each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to want the same thing. Qatar will want the same thing, because
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia and the UAE and Bahrain and Egypt subjected Qatar, let's not forget, to an air, land, and sea blockade for 4 years from 2017 to 2021. They accuse Qatar of supporting terrorism and Islamic movements, right? And frankly, if you watch Al Jazeera and some of the people on it, you might suspect, okay. So Qatar, which has already experienced an attempt at basically economic strangulation by Saudi Arabia, can't simply assume that the Saudi nuclear option is going to remain irrelevant to its own security. They'll have every reason to explore a nuclear program of its own. And then we get to the really big fish here, which are Turkey and Egypt. Turkey has been competing with Saudi Arabia over everything, over political Islam, over Qatar, over regional leadership. I think there's a feedback, Michelle, from your thing. And Turkey, is already building its first commercial nuclear power plant with the Russians. And its first nuclear reactor is going to begin producing electricity later this year. It doesn't currently operate a domestic uranium enrichment program, but once Saudi starts to enrich or has the capability to enrich, you better bet your ass that the Turks, who think of themselves as the big leaders here, are going to want to get nuclear latency. And then the biggest one of all is Egypt. Egypt considers itself, there's really feedback, Michelle. Egypt considers itself, the Arab world's political heavyweight. They're not going to allow the Saudis to get nukes. They're not going to get nukes. I mean, think about that. Like, think about what we're talking about here. And that's the problem. That's the difficulty that we're facing here. That's the Pandora's box that Trump is opening up. Could you imagine all of these regimes, none of which are particularly stable, all of which are 30 seconds away from a popular revolution because they're all governing purely by strangling their own people and just authoritarian dictatorships? Could you imagine what happens when all of them go nuclear or get on the path to going nuclear? And you wonder, why would Trump open up this Pandora's box? Well, I think we just explained why. They're enriching him, so he's allowing them to enrich uranium. That's all you need to know. It's just, and I said this today, and I really mean it, the House of Saud has enriched the House of Trump. And in return, Trump is giving the House of Saud the opportunity to enrich uranium. And the rest of us have to live with the consequences. And that is just insane. I just don't know. I don't, it's crazy. And this is the kind of corruption that we kind of said there, like, okay, he's corrupt. Oh, okay, he's getting rich while the rest of us can't afford to get gas. And he's taking $10 billion from Saudi Arabia while the rest, but I don't know. It's not about him being corrupt. It's about him endangering all of us. And no, Jay, the House of America will not impeach Trump. I wish we did, but we won't, because Congress can't even get enough votes to override the veto of this rotten deal. So do we really think that they're ever going to get the votes to same amount of vote, actually more, 3/5, to expel Trump in the Senate? Of course not. Of course not. And it's just crazy. Like, I don't know what to say. Congress is worth nothing. Our national security has been taken over by a bunch of yes people. God only knows where their interests are. And hi, Michelle. Can you hear me?
I'm afraid to talk.
You can say you're fine.
I'm just like, can I just tell you, before we started this, I spent an hour and a half making a 7-page PowerPoint PDF to show people during this show. Every time I tried to load it in, I had all kinds of problems. I went on to another browser, all kinds of problems. Chrome keeps like kicking me off the thing. So I'm just like, guys, I'm so glad Julie knows what she's talking about, because
I know, but I don't want it to talk. I want you to talk.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying.
I mean, I don't know. Listen, I'm just gonna say this. It's scary out there, Michelle. It's maybe for the best that you didn't hear what I had to say.
Listen, well, I'll hear it. I'll hear it later.
Yeah.
But it's listen, there is no threshold to which, Donald Trump will stop doing what he's doing. There is no line to what Jared Kushner is going to stop doing. These people do not care if we get wiped off the planet or not, because they're just going to go hide in their bunkers. And why not just let the rest of the plebes wipe each other out, as long as they're rich and comfortable? And like, truly, like, that's, look no further than the AI video, right? That Donald Trump put out about, Gaza Trump, or Trump Gaza, or whatever, putting all kinds of developments and hotels and apartment buildings in the West Bank. Like, the whole thing is just crazy. And again, this is who Donald Trump is. This is who Donald Trump has always been. He is this as president. He is this as president again. He has shown us and told us who he is over and over and over and over again. And while this is shocking and it is upsetting and it is terrifying that he's doing all of this, none of this surprises me, as I know it doesn't to you either. Nothing surprises me. This man does not see countries. He does not see borders. Borders are obstacles to him, to which, you know, they're in the way of him making more money, really, at the end of the day. That's all he cares about. That's all he cares about. Um, it's really just that simple with him. Um, and it's disgusting, and the day cannot come sooner, or sorry, the day cannot come soon enough that he is held accountable for the things that he's done, and also the people around him and the members of his family. But like, here's the thing too, Julie. It's like, yes, it's Donald Trump. Yes, it's Jared Kushner. Yes, it's Chris Wright. Yes, it's all these people, but it's also the entire Republican Party
Mm-hmm.
that rallies around him and allows this to happen month after month, year after year, decade after decade now at this point. And this is why it infuriates me to no end that I see protester after protester after protester showing up at book signings with Kamala Harris or whomever else, screaming things at her, but I never see these people at a Trump rally. Never screaming at him or screaming at these people about the atrocities that and death that they are committing around the world. So, not to say, we can't do everything, but it's, come on, guys. Like, there's
Well,
one villain here, and it's
yeah, and I
you
have
know.
to say, you're absolutely right. And all I see online now, all I see online now is the Democrats going after each other.
Mhm,
It's unconscionable.
mhm.
Unconscionable.
Yep.
Largely over Israel and Gaza.
Well, and also I just want to clarify too, is like, yes, Democrats are going after each other, but there's also people who are cosplaying as Democrats going after
Mm-hmm.
Democrats. There are a lot of
Yep.
people who are pretending to be Democrats and trying to destroy the party with all of this bullshit. Which, again, we should be all focused on Donald Trump and the rise of authoritarianism and fascism, not only here, but around the world. But unfortunately, there's too many people, especially on our side, who think that they are morally superior to a point that they cannot be susceptible to propaganda. And, here we are.
Yeah, and they're, by the way, they're not sock puppets. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, these are paid protesters." No, no.
No.
Sorry, my friend. If you're dressing up as Chairman Mao and you're saying he was the great, one of the great men of the 20th century after killing 20 million people, believe me,
Mhm.
you're not a paid. I don't know if he's paid by somebody, but I mean, Hassan Piker is doing shit like this.
Listen, on this show, a matter of months ago, I said that I thought that man was vile. I said I thought Hassan Piker was vile. And the amount of people who came for me in the comments telling me that I'm not being helpful and we need voices like his. No, we don't.
No,
I
we
don't.
don't. No, we don't.
I don't.
Because you know why? These are people who are trying to silence
Mhm.
the voices of those of us who've worked in the Democratic Party. I'm not interested in blowing up the Democratic Party. I'm interested in defeating Republicans.
Yep.
These people are more interested in being right in their mind. And it doesn't matter if they can defeat Republicans or not. Who do you think is more electable in Michigan? Let's be very blunt here. You want to be right or you want to beat the Republicans?
Yeah. What's his name? Mike Rogers is a Republican, right?
Yeah.
There's an audio, a piece of audio that has been leaked. It's all over social today of him talking to other Republicans saying that he hopes that El Sayed wins because it will be much easier for him to take the seat.
Yep.
And they're actually praying for it.
These are the same people who told the rest of us that we didn't know what we were talking about when we warned about Graham Plattner. And the reason I think, Michelle, you're so right to bring this up right now, and I'm so furious about this, is because when I hear people saying, the price of entry into the Democratic Party now, per these people, is you have to say that Israel is committing genocide, and more relevantly, that Israel should not have the right to exist. Friends, Saudi Arabia is going nuclear while we're fighting over this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? And it's going nuclear because enough fucking people, excuse my language, did not want to vote for Kamala Harris because, she was, I didn't agree with her in Israel. Well, do you think Saudi Arabia would be going nuclear if she had won? And by the way, Saudi Arabia will go nuclear under the next administration. And then the Republicans are going to stand up and say, when Donald Trump was in office, Saudi Arabia didn't become a nuclear power. It's only when, I don't know, whoever, John Ossoff became president, or AOC became president, or Michelle Kinney became president, or whoever became president with a Z after their name, that Saudi Arabia went nuclear. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. But by all means, create a barrier to entry for normal Democrats who have bigger priorities, quite frankly, than sitting around and circle jerking about what's happening 6,000 miles away. You think it's a genocide? Fantastic. You don't think it's a genocide? Fantastic. Go ahead and have that debate. But when you say that your viewpoint has to be the price of entry into the Democratic Party, you are pushing out a shitload of people who otherwise would vote with you.
Yep.
And if I may,
please do.
Zohran Mamdani spent, what do we know about Zohran Mamdani? For those of you who don't live in New York, that he has spent the last X number of weeks, months, I don't know how long, talking about how he was going to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is the issue that we need to think about? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? We all know he couldn't arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. It was never going to happen because Benjamin Netanyahu has not broken the laws of the city or the state of New York. He just hasn't.
Right.
He has broken no American laws. And America is not party to the ICC. Vladimir Putin can show up, who I hate more than anything else right now, and walk down the streets of New York, and that would not be an enforceable.
And there's nothing we can do.
There's nothing we can do about it because we're not party to the ICC. But the mayor of New York, who's determined that he's now the leader of the Democratic Party, despite the fact that he's a Democratic socialist, I don't even know if he, that's what he's focusing on. That is what he's wasting his political capital on.
Yeah.
Not making the city of New York safer or better. And when I said that, I had Mehdi Hassan, who, let's be very clear here, paid for by Qatar, works for Al Jazeera. Telling me, no, New York is safer now than, I said some woman got shoved into the train tracks and he comes at me saying, and I said, maybe the mayor should be focused on crime in the subways as opposed to crime, as opposed to trying to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. Mehdi's response to me was, New York's the safest it's ever been. Tell that to the woman who got shoved into the tracks. That's like saying right now, Donald Trump saying every day, well, inflation's down from where it was under Biden. Yeah, you know what? Guess what? Do people feel like they can fill up their gas tank? Do people feel like they can get food? That's what Democrats said all along under Biden. No, they don't understand. Marker, it's getting better. It's getting better. Nobody felt it was getting better. That's why Biden lost.
Yeah, and you can't tell people.
You can't tell people how they feel. I do not feel safe riding the subway. Michelle, you don't even ride the subway because you think it's so unsafe.
Yeah, if I get nervous.
That's my point. I have a kid who rides the subway. And for people who say Mamdani's doing a lot of good things, though, what are they? No, please, I actually would like you to put that in the chat. What are they?
Yeah.
Like, please tell me what you think. I'm not arguing with you. I'd actually would love to know what you think he's doing well.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't involve like state legislature actually
Because it's
passing
the
it
state
for him.
legislature that's doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy Hochul's doing a good job.
Kathy Hochul's doing a bang up job. She's awesome.
But what is he doing? What is he
Yeah.
doing?
And here's the thing, and I just want to be clear here too. I think Julie and I are on the same page here. We want Medicare for all. We want women to have equal rights. We want equal rights for LGBTQIA, community. We want we want things to be affordable. We want all the same things. But I the fact that we are being, how do I say this, bullied into leading with a top issue that does not affect us directly, to Julie's point, is 6,000 miles away, which, not saying it doesn't matter, but it does not matter at large to the American voters, to the people who are making the decisions at the ballot box. American voters polled do not talk about this. They don't care.
They don't care. They don't care. You know who cares? People who have the time to care. Right? Most people don't have the time to care. Guys, I want to be very clear. We're all very fortunate that we could sit here in the middle of the day and listen to podcasts and host podcasts and so on. Average people don't have time for that.
Yeah.
And
regular people are just trying to like get through the day. They're just trying to survive.
And when you're taking what you're hearing online and transferring it into the real world, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't resonate. You're the mayor of New York. Do your fucking job. And frankly, having a Oval Office address with this map of the city, of the flag of the city of New York and the American flag behind you, like you're like sitting there in the Oval Office, delivering an address about Benjamin Netanyahu.
It was like, listen,
who gives a shit? And by the way, I can't
with like the music behind him.
Yeah,
I was like, what's happening?
I gotta be honest. I can't stand Benjamin Netanyahu. I hope
he's terrible.
I hope he's prosecuted in Israel to the fullest extent of the law. He's under indictment, and I hope he's prosecuted. I truly hope he is, and he will be if he loses this election.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you right now is, I don't want my mayor talking about this shit. I want my mayor telling me how I'm going to put a 14-year-old on the subway and not worry that he's going to be shoved onto the tracks. I have stood in Times Square during rush hour, Michelle, and I'm telling you right now, all I can think about is somebody shoving me onto the tracks.
Oh, it terrifies me. It terrifies me.
Yep. So don't tell me.
It terrifies me.
Don't tell me that my mayor should be focused on something other than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I voted for the guy. I voted for him. And listen, in the beginning, I did not support him. I've told you since day one, I was like, there's something going on there. There's like this mask. There's a mask, and I don't know what it is. And I'm just not buying it. And eventually I was like, you know what, maybe I'm just being a cranky old lady and like, I need to get with the times or whatever. And once Trump endorsed Cuomo, I was like, that's it. I'm going to vote for him, the general. Like, I'm not going to leave it blank, blah, blah, blah. Because I refused to vote for Eric Adams, by the way. I never voted for a Republican, but I refused to vote for Eric Adams, and I left it blank. And I said, no, I'm not giving Trump or anybody associated with Trump a vote by non-voting. So I voted for Mamdani, and I was like, I'm going to give the guy a chance. He's incredibly, charismatic, and he's a great messenger. And I was like, maybe this will translate, right? Maybe this is going to translate into some more, moderate things to the people of the city of New York. And listen, in the beginning, I was like, you know what? I feel good. I want to feel good. I want to feel good about literally anything. Please, for the love of God. And then, guys, I live in New York's 13th congressional district, and he brought a woman around in government vehicles to campaign for her at a park around the corner from my apartment, who does not support interracial marriage. She does not support aid for Ukraine. In fact, blamed Ukraine for what happened to them, and said that she wanted to wipe her dirty hands on the American flag. Guys, I'm sorry. That was it for me. I was like, nope, can't. I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah. And
and trying to explain this to even, I'm 44 years old. I have a lot of friends who are my age and younger. My whole feed is like does not agree with me. And that makes me feel bad. Um a lot of people won't talk to me. People have gone silent. They don't want to talk to me anymore because of this,
and
which is
and
crazy.
yeah, and Tin Pan Alley Can, you said that's not the top issue he's bringing up. He's bringing up affordable groceries and childcare. He should stay out of international affairs, sure, but that isn't his primary focus. Really? When was the last time you saw him do an Oval Office style address talking about affordable groceries and childcare? When was the last time you saw him do that? I saw him sit at the desk in City Hall or Gracie Mansion, wherever he was, and talk
Mhm.
about how he can't arrest Benjamin Netanyahu, but let's be very clear that what Israel is doing is a genocide and yada, yada, yada.
Mhm.
What does that have to do with free buses, which we still don't have, despite his promising us that we'd have it? What does it
Mhm.
have to do with childcare, free childcare, which we don't have, despite him promising to do that?
Well,
What does
right,
that have
which
to do with
again is
affordable?
something he
Yeah.
has to do with Kathy Hochul, and work with Democrats in the Assembly and the state Senate, which at this point, people are there is a divide that is starting to happen within the party because people are
Mhm.
like, dude, what you are doing is not cool for the rest of us because we're not going to get people elected in Wisconsin because of all this shit. Not because of Mamdani, like, being Mamdani. That's because of what he is supporting and because of what he is endorsing. People like Chevalier, who is going to be my next congresswoman. And it makes me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach that somebody, and I am like a bleeding heart liberal. The fact that I actually can't even believe that I am thinking these things, let alone saying them. It breaks my heart. But I am not, listen, this country is worth fighting for, and so is the Democratic Party. And that is how I feel about that. And Julie, you've worked in this party a hell of a lot longer than I have. But we love it just the same, and we believe that we stand for the right things, um, things that matter. Um, we stand for women, which by the way, misogyny is bipartisan. Um, Despite what the men in our party might have you believe otherwise. Um, it's okay to have new leadership. It's okay to you know, mix things up. In fact, we've been begging for it. Like, please, these people, the establishment, Democrats, a lot of them, like the Chuck Schumers, right, have been sitting there on his hands doing a whole lot of nothing, not making life difficult for any of the people who are trying to tear down our institutions, right? Um, but this is
Yeah.
not that. And these people are not Democrats.
There's a guy named Darnell Martin on Substack. And before I block him, I'm just going to say something to you, Darnell.
Mhm.
You love Israel more than the US. No, sweetheart. What I'm trying to say to you is I'm focused much more on the US than I am on Israel. I
Mhm.
understand that people only have capacity for certain things in life.
Mhm.
And what they have capacity for is things that directly affect them. And
Mhm.
that is why you have the backbone of the Democratic Party, not just people like us who've dedicated our lives to it, but specifically Black women
Mhm.
who are the backbone of this party.
Who are not happy right now. I don't know if it's me frozen or
No,
Julie.
the price of admission,
Hang
we're
on.
back. The
Okay.
price of admission that you have all created to be a Democrat, those of you who suddenly decided you're Democrats, even though I never saw any of you anywhere,
Mhm. I don't know if it's me frozen or if it's Julie. Can somebody tell me in the chat if it's me or Julie? I don't know.
so, I, I don't know. I don't know, Darnell. I'm glad to hear that you're a woman. Majority of Black women in this country, and I don't speak for Black women. I just look at polling, focus on
Okay.
other things.
I wasn't sure if it was me just because of all my technical issues, but it was Julie that's frozen. So I'm just going to talk here for a second. And to whomever this gentleman Darnell is, let me
Apparently,
just.
Darnell, she's a African American.
Oh, well, whomever this person is, may I also remind you that Julie Roginski, my friend here, is not just an American. She's an immigrant and she's a refugee from the Soviet Union. And her family fled the Soviet Union and authoritarianism and a government who basically told you how to think, what to say. Um, and I think until someone knows what it's like to live in a place like that, it's easy to throw stones at people like Julie and tell her what she believes or what she doesn't believe or what she cares about or what she doesn't care about. It's bullshit. And you all sound insane. I'll say it. I don't care.
I mean, I appreciate that.
Well, you know.
Listen, we all want the same thing. We all want universal health care. We all want billionaires held accountable. We all want Donald Trump out of office.
We all want union protections.
We all want union protections. We all want climate change policies. All of this. But when you tell us that unless we agree with you, and not just agree with you, but make Israel and Gaza the number one issue that we should be focusing on, or else we are not welcome in the Democratic Party to which we have dedicated our lives, get the fuck out of here. I'm serious. Get the fuck out of here. Because you're not helping that poor woman who's working 3 jobs because she's a single mom and she's desperately trying to make ends meet.
Yep.
You're not helping that union worker who's about to get whose company is union busting, and therefore he's not going to get the health care that he needs. And ultimately,
and taking care of our veterans.
And taking care of veterans. You're not helping a planet that is on fire right now because there's no climate change policy. You're not helping the person who's eating dirty, rotten lettuce and almost dying because the FDA does not want to basically look at food safety anymore. You're not helping people get the drugs they need if they have cancer.
I think maybe this is Julie again.
I'm back.
Okay. Sorry, just going in and out, I think. But not to mention we're having a Legionnaires outbreak in the city of New York where 5 people have died. This is real. It's a real thing that's happening on the Upper East Side of Manhattan right now. And it would be great if we were doing something about that in a way that was as momentous as an address about a leader who lives on the other side of the world. It's just, it's crazy.
And by the way, if you care so much about what's happening in Israel, if you care about it more than what's happening in this country, to Israel is somehow taking away from what you have. Why aren't you out there protesting that we are giving Saudi Arabia nuclear technology that is going to kill us all? Why aren't you protesting at every Arsenal game, at every Manchester City game? Every time you see somebody wearing an Emirates jersey on their chest, walking down the street, you go up to them and you rip that shirt off their hands and you say, you are sponsoring the government for and a genocide in Ukraine.
Yep.
Why aren't you doing that?
No Jews, no news.
No Jews, no news. That's what it is.
And also, there's probably billions of dollars at this point being flooded into our algorithms, telling people and showing people certain kinds of content that confirms it's confirmation bias, right? It's like, and what this does, it's that dopamine hit that people get, and it's more and more and more and more and more. And like, this is why tribal mentality is so powerful, right? And not to say I haven't been victim to it. I certainly have over the years. I mean, I get it. It feels good to be a part of something. It feels good to be a part of movements and feel right in the moment. But I am very fearful, Julie, of 2028 and us having our first president. Because when we have, a Senate candidate in Michigan talking about, Marjorie Taylor Greene and how much he agrees with Marjorie Taylor Greene, or that they might be out, fighting for the same things, that's slightly alarming to me. When we have Tucker Carlson out here swinging for some of the same things that Hassan Piker is, that's really troubling to me. And, for anybody who continues to say that Hassan Piker, no, we need Hassan Piker, he's our Joe Rogan. No, my friends, Hassan Piker is not Joe Rogan. Hassan Piker is Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, and let me just say something to you, Michelle. Do you see this, guys? Do you see this thing? I know you can't see it. That was sent to me by Joe Biden. That was sent. This is a framed copy of the Speak Out Act, which banned NDAs for sexual misconduct. A piece of legislation that I worked very hard on, so hard that very nicely the White House sent me this with Joe Biden. It's the bill that he signed.
I love that man.
Let me say something to you. These are the same people who told me to sit down and shut the fuck up when I said to you, believe women, even if they're Republican women, believe women when they tell you that Graham Plattner was violent with them, more than one person, that he was sexually inappropriate with them, that he laid the predicate for all of this years earlier by saying that women who got drunk deserved to get raped.
Yep.
I am being told, or was told, that I was not welcome in the Democratic Party because I was not supportive of him. Me, who got my career started working on a political campaign in Maine, and know there are plenty of people in the state of Maine who could have been the nominee instead of him. And in fact, we are getting somebody else who's the nominee now. And yet, because I am not sitting here saying, before I talk about law and before I talk about anything else, I first have to check the cover charge at the door, which is I have to talk about Israel.
Right.
Really?
It's wild.
It's wild. Who are you people? Like,
wild.
seriously, who are you? Where have you been? And what have you done? What has Hassan Piker done in his life other than be a Nepo baby? What has he done?
Get
Has he
really,
passed
really
shit
rich.
like this? No, seriously, has he passed shit like this? Did he walk the halls of Congress? Did he go through hell listening to women month in, month out, year in, year out, talking about their horrific stories and crying and saying, I can't talk to anybody else because I'm bound by our confidentiality provision. I'm muzzled. I can't say anything. I'm suicidal because I don't have anybody to talk to. This is who you're listening to? Do you know who he's getting paid by?
Right. That's
you
another
sure?
piece of this. And we may never find out, right? Because, we just may never find out. I don't know if he's registered as, what was it, what's the thing that you have to register as to be able to do lobbying on behalf of a foreign government? FARA, that's it. Maybe he is registered. I don't know. But and not to say it's a foreign government or anybody's paying him, but I certainly think that is the case. And listen, people do things for a lot of money in this country, and it's to no surprise that this happens. I'm not even against people making money. I am against people doing it to the detriment of democracy, to the rights of women, to the safety of women, to the safety of any marginalized group in this country. And at the detriment of the United States.
You guys,
like, oh my God.
I am so angry. You have Mehdi Hassan. You have people who I used to respect.
I know.
Going after Frank Guttenberg.
Girl, nothing is making me angry watching that. Nothing.
Who lost his daughter in the Parkland shooting, and they're saying, oh, well, you don't care about dead Gazan kids, so, like, who are you to stand up? You only stand up for white girls like your daughter who died, Palestinian kids who died. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Rather than partnering with him on gun control legislation and gun safety legislation with him and Shannon Watts and people like that, you're going after them because they don't agree with you about something that's happening 6,000 miles away? Do you understand how shit gets done? I mean, seriously, do you understand how shit gets done? This bill, this wonderful bill that literally has Joe Biden's signature on it right here, and above it, Nancy Pelosi's signature, right? Because she was the Speaker of the House. Do you know who got that done for us? No.
I think you're frozen, but I know who got it done for you.
If not for Lindsey Graham, Joe Biden would not have signed that bill. I was at the White House. Lindsey Graham was at the bill signing for the other bill, the Airports
It was
Arbitration
Lindsey
Bill.
Graham and
Kirsten Gillibrand.
right?
But
Yep.
I'm just saying this to you to say, know when to team up with people, know when to defeat them. Doesn't mean that you don't work extra hard. If Lindsey Graham were still alive, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't have worked extra hard to defeat Lindsey Graham. It wouldn't mean that you don't talk about all the other ways in which Lindsey Graham was terrible. You do it. And these people are going after him. His daughter died. Shame on you.
Not just died, murdered in cold blood in her classroom. For God's sakes.
Murdered. You're going after Shannon Watts, who's been working her heart out on gun control and has done more to make, basically brought down the NRA. Over what? Over their support for Israel?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Are you crazy? Do you not understand this is exactly what Trump wants? Meanwhile, while you're looking at these little shiny objects, Saudi Arabia's going nuclear.
Yeah. And Pete Hegseth is going to track all of our, service members' testosterone, and he's firing trans people in the military, and he's firing women and people of color, and refusing to, even promote people of color from within the ranks. The amount of and also then there's Signalgate, and then there is bombing fishing boats off the coast of the Caribbean. Like, there's so much shit going on all the time, every single day. And this doesn't even include the cancer research and the Alzheimer's research and all of these things that have been cut. People will die, not to mention the million people who have died because of the cut of USAID. Like, the list goes on and on and on. So while we are doing this, and all of these people are shouting at us because we refuse to take an oath to their policy platforms, which, by the way, the DSA people have been going on TV. The Democratic Socialists of America have been going on TV saying that as part of their national platform is to abolish the Senate.
And the Constitution. They want to change the Constitution. They want to abolish the Constitution.
It's
and prisons. And prisons. So are you to say that the guy at Parkland, I think he's dead, but people who shoot up schools and live, they shouldn't be in prison?
Let me just tell you really, I have
a wait. They want to abolish prison. Wait, Michelle, they want to abolish prison, but
I don't know. I think that you froze again.
Not for Benjamin. All right. Look.
Yeah, I just wanted to say really quick on that front that, I know that we all know people who've been victims of violent crimes and whatnot, but and I am no police, blue line person by any means, please. Half my family's cops, and I trust me, that's not where that's not my jam. But I will say, that I had a classmate in high school who was murdered by a serial killer in her own apartment in Syracuse. And he was out, having committed other crimes. He was back out on the streets. He killed her and another woman in the neighborhood. She was 6 months pregnant. That man is behind bars, and he will be forever. Thank God. So say what you say, but there are people like this. There are monsters among us, and they do not belong on the streets and with us. Yes. Do we have a problem with prisons in this country? Yes. Do we over incarcerate people? Yes, that is a problem. But the answer is not to swing the other way.
It's Maximus position.
I mean,
it's the same thing.
It's stupid.
Again, Darnell.
It's extremist.
Right? Darnell, are brown Palestinian children not human to you? Who said anything about us not sympathizing with Palestinian children? Who said anything about the fact that we support the war in Gaza? Who said anything about the fact that we support Benjamin Netanyahu or his extremist, racist, religious zealot government? This is what I'm talking about. If you don't have a maximalist position, if you don't subscribe to the fact that Israel should not exist, then you obviously must support Benjamin Netanyahu. There's no
It's
nuance
it's
left.
black or white,
There's
right?
no nuance left. There's no intellectual consistency left. There's nothing. Because it's so much easier to just have moral outrage. And these moral outrage, listen, do you know how much money Michelle and I would make right now if we went down this road? Like, I know how to do this so well
Yeah.
from my years in television. Do you know how easy it would be for us to pull a Hassan Piker right now? And just get everybody all ginned up, like the way Tucker Carlson does, Hassan Piker does, get everybody all ginned up. Everything sucks, to the barricades. Everybody sucks. You can't trust anybody. I'm the only one you can trust. I'm the only one telling you the truth. The right's out to get you. The left's out to get you. Everybody's out to get you. You can't trust anybody. Everything's awful. Unfortunately, I've actually worked in the real world before I was handed a mic. So I understand that how things get done, and I understand that critical thinking is important. And I'm not gonna, neither Michelle nor I are gonna disrespect this audience or anybody else in my real life that I talk to by starting a cult.
Yeah. I listen, Julie, I'm not perfect by any means, but like, for the love of God, I could not live with myself. I couldn't live with myself talking to people, asking for people's support, and lying to them or being disingenuous. I couldn't do it. And maybe if I'd be a whole lot more wealthy and I would have a lot more success in my life, and maybe the life would be different for me, but that's just not who I am. And for that reason, my friend Tara Setmayer and I started Seneca Project because we were not willing to toe the line bullshit, and to great cost. And Julie, same thing. She stood up for other women and walked away from a lot of money. And not to say that everybody's got to do that, right? But like, there is dignity in this work. There can still be dignity in this work. I believe that. And I'm going to live that. And I saw someone in the comments say that this all makes you feel really sad. Same. Listen,
We don't
I'm
want to talk
so
about this
tired
stuff
today, and I'm having a day, and like, this stuff brings me to tears so often you couldn't imagine. Maybe some of that's hormones and perimenopause, but we don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'm feeling it though, and I'm with you. But like I said, a little bit ago, this party is worth fighting for. This country is worth fighting for. If you give up, they have won. And you have to wake up every day and remind yourself of that. And acts of joy in and of itself is resistance. Okay? Like and I have to tell myself this too. It is okay to walk away for a little bit and go see a movie and go have a picnic with your friends, or go get drunk and go dancing at a bar. Like, whatever it is that you got to do that makes you happy, go do that, because it's the freedom to do those things is why we fight.
Yeah, and I have this thing now where it's going to upset Michelle because she and I text so late into the night. But I have this new thing now where I'm going to just disconnect at 10 p.m.
You should. I wouldn't be mad about that.
No,
Please,
but I'm just saying, you and I get a lot of gossip done after 10 p.m. But like, that's it. I'm done. I also have no choice because apparently it's lights out at 9:30 with my husband. So if I said that to him yesterday, he's like, it's like 9:00. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed now, and I hope you're not gonna make me feel like I'm in the prison again, because I always have my computer screen, my laptop on in bed, and I'm always writing my Substack, and he's always like, I feel like I'm in some prison. I always feel like the lights are never off because we're shining the computer
like lights out.
Yeah, he's like, lights out. And I said to him, I go, I'm trying to remember the last time I had a curfew. I think I was 15, and it's been a long time. I said, I didn't realize that this was going to make me get a curfew. And he's like, it's not a curfew, but I feel like I'm in a prison cell. The lights are constantly on. But yet if I go.
Do you feel better?
What do you mean?
Do you feel bad? Like, I mean, do you feel like, I mean, not to say that your mental health was bad before, but like, do you feel going to bed earlier and disconnecting at that hour is like helping you function?
I'll let you know, because you and I were talking until like 11 or 12 last night. So yeah, so I'll let you know. I'm going to try tonight.
Sorry, I'll stop.
I have not. It's not you. I have not yet started writing my column for tomorrow. So I have to take my dog to the vet. My little Maggie. She's go to the vet. She's got all sorts of sort of rash all over her little into her ears and everywhere else.
Little
Yeah.
baby puppies and kitties get all kinds
Oh
of
my God,
things,
Rosie, your
yeah.
husband leaves to go to work at 11:30 p.m. and you have the whole house to yourself. I gotta be honest. There's something to
Sounds
that.
awesome.
There's something
Sounds
to that.
awesome.
I love my husband, but then I'd be able to keep my laptop on all night and nobody would say anything.
And I want to say too, in the chat too, by the way, these wonderful people who have been part of the Mayday community and family for so long, and like I recognize you, and we're so grateful that you not only are here but share your feelings about this moment with us too. And Miss Banks said that a friend aged 53 just dropped dead, heart attack on Monday. First of all, I am so sorry. That is horrible. And may their memory be a blessing.
Oh my
I'll
God.
say also that again, like we're not guaranteed tomorrow, right? So like live it up. Don't
Yeah.
forget to live for yourself, while we stay in this fight so that we can leave happiness for the next generation. These are the things I think about. And I'm so
Yeah.
sorry to you, Miss Spinks. That's
Yes.
awful.
I'm so sorry as well. Very
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. And Johnny, don't worry about us. We'll be okay.
We're fine. Us?
Yeah, he said he worries about us
Don't
because
worry about
there's a
us.
heaviness. Julie's tougher than me, just FYI. She's way, way tougher. She's like, every time I'm like, look at this thing, she's like, who cares? And I'm like, eh. But I'm getting there.
guys, I have to tell you, all the years I worked at a right-wing television network
It's
is the only
Russia, it's Fox, it's all these bad people, and then like she's a tough nut.
That is why we have Saturdays for Sanity. That's true. That's true. Ms. Binks, I have to say it's a blessing. I know you said at least no kids.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Johnny. Don't worry about us. We are so much luckier than most people because we're able to sit here in the middle of the day and have these shows. And these shows are so cathartic, I think, for all of us too. And especially those of you who have been riding with us since the beginning, like you guys are like friends and family. Like we have gotten to know you. We've gotten to know your life. Now I know that Rosie's husband is out of the house at 11:30 p.m. It's a little bit extra about Rosie that we did not know before. And now we could be jealous of Rosie. So, Rosie could just party all night long.
It's true. It's true.
Kevin, it is true. I've had no choice but to brush it off for years. I am the original shake it off girl. Taylor Swift might have stolen that from me. I also feel like lights out of 10, but the one thing that I do always do, and I have to do it before I go to sleep, is I have to read fiction. I gotta read fiction, or else my mind will just think about this other stuff. Also, my friend Gretchen showed me onto Cheladian magnesium.
Oh, and how it makes you like
she
not
claims
sleepy,
that it helps
but it like helps you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took it yesterday for the first time, and I got to be honest. That wasn't meant to be a thumbs up. And no, didn't help me sleep at all.
Oh, well.
I also have a puppy who wakes me up at 3:00 in the dot because
that's not helpful. Yeah, that's not helpful. Eventually, hopefully, she'll stay in the crate until the morning, and then you'll.
Well, she doesn't even go in the crate because she'll cry all night long. So she now, I think she's got a rash all over her body because she has discovered my robe, which I've now given to her. And I didn't realize, I just thought she was sleeping on it. It turns out she's been chewing it and swallowing little pieces of synthetic. And I think that's why she's got this rash.
That's terrible.
I know.
Oh, hopefully Maggie's okay.
She also eats the wall. She's teething.
The wall?
The wall. She literally gnaws on the wall.
I remember my dog doing that as a kid. He like pulled the wall off the wall. If that makes sense.
I'm kind of over the puppy stage. I gotta be honest.
It's like having a baby. My mom keeps texting me Nylabone. Our dog had the Nylabones.
NYLA?
NYLA, Nylabones. Because they chew forever and ever, and they just like never get to them.
Really helpful, Mrs. Kinney. Thank you. The problem is that I have another dog who is
will also like the Nylabone.
Yeah, so now they fight, like if one has something, then the other one will want it, and it's just never. Wood
Mhm.
furniture, yes, yes, I have a wood table, Miss Banks. She has chewed
Yep.
through the leg on the wood table. She's basically a monster. She's very cute. She's very sweet,
She's
but
a
she's
cute
she's
monster.
a cute little monster, but she is a monster. You did tell me,
Out
Nina,
here in
about Nala
Nina.
Bones. I'm so sorry. I forgot all about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
um,
also I bought Hagrid, the big dog. I bought a toy thinking, "Oh, the big dog will want the toy because, you know, he's not getting as much attention because of the puppy." And I got one of the lamb chops, like all the dogs are obsessed with lamb chop. I guess because of like and there's New York Times did a whole article about this,
there are
about
remnants of lamb chop all over my house.
everywhere. Like
Yeah.
the lamb chop was a goner by the time you
Yeah,
left your
the
apartment.
stuffing of I'm still finding lamb chop stuffing everywhere, like
All
all over
right.
my house.
So funny, so funny. But as we talk about all this stuff, Julie, and before we go, I just want to say, like, Julie and I have been trying to figure out, you know, like who we are here at Mayday, what it is that we want to do, who it like, what's our mission here, other than just to like talk about, what's going on, and we want to hear from you guys too. If you have ideas or thoughts or anything, like, please tell us. You guys have been here since the beginning. Let us know. And in the meantime, like, we want to elevate more voices like ours, um, more people who are not only happy warriors, but people who want to save the Democratic Party, people who are not into the cult nonsense, people who want to win, um, and not only save the party, but save the country. And so, that's, looking forward, I think, to more or less like what we're going to be focused on doing in addition to being happy warriors.
Yeah, I think, the happy warrior part is important, but I also think, you guys, the reason I went off, and I didn't mean to go off, this was about Saudi Arabia originally, but the reason the reason I think I went off and
Still connected though.
took Michelle down the rabbit hole with me is I'm just so tired of the infighting. Like, I just am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not
Mm-hmm.
all gonna agree on everything, and I understand that for a lot of people, what's happening in Gaza is the definitive moral problem, issue of our lifetime. I get it. I get it. What I'm saying to you is it should not be the barrier for entry to everything. I understand for you it is because it's like saying, "Oh my God, you're watching this huge, massive thing happen, and if you're not focused on that, then nothing else you say to me is going to make me agree with you." I get it. Just understand that for most people, it's not. And the
Mm-hmm.
more time you spend, you can talk about it all you want, but if you make that the price of entry for everybody else, you're going to lose everybody else.
Yep.
You just
Yep.
are.
Yep. And I encourage people to support voices who are talking sense into people. People like David Pakman, who has gone viral in the last couple days for speaking out against all of this. The folks over at the Bulwark, Sammy Sage over at Betches. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people who are starting to get really loud about this. And I'm very glad because there's strength in numbers. And I think that a lot of people have been not afraid, but just like, let's just get past the primaries and like, let's get this. But it's not going away. This isn't going away. Um, this is going to continue to be a problem for all of us. So, be mindful of the people who are saying the sensible things, in my opinion.
Yeah. And don't let them divide us because that's what they're doing right now. And we're doing it to ourselves.
Mhm. Yep. And Kevin, you are
Kevin, you know
absolutely
what?
correct. Don't forget,
Kevin
Michelle,
Cox.
this channel was also created to. You're not wrong. You're
Um,
not wrong.
Kev, listen, you are in London, which is closer to Wales than Michelle and I are.
Mhm.
Take a ride over there.
Yeah.
Go over to Wales.
Mhm.
Go track him down,
Mhm.
and don't
Mhm.
leave.
Although he lives in Brooklyn, so
Oh,
you know what I
really?
mean?
Well, Michelle and I don't go to
Yeah.
Brooklyn. It's we don't go to Brooklyn.
Mm.
It's easier.
It
It's
may it
easier for
may as
us
well
to
be Philadelphia.
it's easier for us to go to Wales than it would be for us to leave Manhattan and go to Brooklyn.
Honestly, it could be. It's like 3 trains, guys, and an hour and a half out of my life.
Nobody's
Like,
got time
truly,
for
just to
that.
get there.
Nobody's got time for
Yeah.
that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. God love you though, Brooklyn. I don't know where the streets are. I don't know what they mean. I don't know which way they're going, but good for you.
Yeah, they've got subways there I've never heard of, like the J train and the Z train. Like these are things that are just completely.
I know.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this, I'm not being a Manhattan snob. Brooklyn is beautiful. Brooklyn is
And
wonderful. Every
in
time I
many
go
ways
there, I'm
cooler
like, "Oh,
and,
it's so
cooler.
nice," but it's a foreign country to
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a foreign country to me.
yeah, it's a big city.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Mhm.
So that's not gonna happen. So Kevin, why don't you go check out the situation in Wales and get back to
Yeah.
us on it. He speaks
Go
Welsh too.
get our girl. Yes, he does. Fluently, and has been trying to teach his kid how to do it too.
That is a tough language.
Yeah.
Welsh is a
I
tough
saw him
language.
in an interview. I saw an interview with him where he, because he has a son with Carrie Russell, because Carrie Russell has, I think, 1 or 2 kids from a previous marriage. And he said that his son is like, "Daddy, like, can we speak mommy's language? Like, I don't wanna speak Welsh." And he's like, "No, no," because it's a dying language, you know?
He'll
It's like
appreciate
Gaelic,
it
you know?
though, because I gotta tell you, when I came here, all the Russians who I came here with, for some reason, they just started speaking English to their kids, and the kids really lost the language, a lot of them. The ones who didn't move to
Mhm.
Brighton Beach, like Olga Lautman's family, but the ones who moved to non-Russian speaking places. And I was one of the very
Mhm.
few whose parents insisted on continue to speak Russian to her. And I'm so glad,
Mm.
because now
Yeah.
When Olga
Especially as
Lautman,
a kid, you're a sponge.
well, I was born speaking it, but I mean, I remembered it, I retained it. So yeah, and when you're a kid, you're like,
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean.
yeah. And so yeah, learn the Welsh. The Welsh is a dying language. I am a big
Mhm.
um my suitcase.
My suitcase.
My suit. Okay, can I tell you how much my 14-year-old really wants to murder me every time I say that? Because all I do
My
is go around the house.
suitcase.
All I do is go around the house and I'm like, my suitcase. And he's like, please stop. Oh my God, just please stop. I'm like, but my
So
suitcase.
funny.
Robert, you're a stone's throw
It's
from Wales.
adorable.
Where
It's
are
so
you?
funny.
Where are you a stone's throw from Wales? Which town? Brooklyn is amazing, Alex. We're not denigrating Brooklyn.
No,
We're
and that's
just,
why I said, I was like, I just want to be very clear. Brooklyn is gorgeous. It's
but
beautiful, but it's just far from where we live.
but we live
And
on the
so when
Upper West
people say, "Please
Side.
come to Brooklyn," I'm like, "Oh my God." Yeah.
The last time I went
Yeah.
to
I'm sure that,
Brooklyn,
and listen, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
and I'm not kidding, for anything other than like driving through Brooklyn to get some, was when I was pregnant, and that was 15 years ago.
Oh, stop. Are you serious?
Yes, I met a friend in Williamsburg for dinner. This friend has been living in
I
LA for like the
mean,
last decade. It's far. Michelle,
I know, but like one of my
you
best friends lives in Prospect Heights and I go to see him.
oh no, no, no.
Like I
I
go.
don't have friends in Brooklyn for that
Yeah,
reason. That
because
way
I
I don't
love
have to.
him.
No, this is why you don't have friends. This is why I've gotten rid of friends in Brooklyn. If you move to Brooklyn, the friendship is over, not because I don't love you. I just am not going to travel. So if you want to come here, you're more than welcome. But they don't want to come here either because it's far.
It's true. It's true. But you know what? We make it happen though. Craig, you know Craig. He lives
Yeah,
in Prospect
yeah,
Heights. I go to see him. He's got a big apartment and a balcony. So
I
yeah,
know, but it's far. It's really
yeah.
far. Wait, somebody was in Catherine Zeta-Jones' wedding?
I was in the party. Was a blast.
Okay. Did she get married in
What?
Wales? No, she got married at the Plaza.
Yeah.
They had a big $1 billion like wedding at the Plaza.
Yeah.
Um,
Their daughter is like grown now and is like an actor.
oh my God, I
Pretty
saw,
decent.
okay, so I maybe 4 or 5 years ago was in a restaurant on the Upper West Side, not in
Mhm.
Brooklyn. And I'm waiting to get a table, and it's not one of those like see and be seen restaurants, just a normal neighborhood restaurant, because we don't have see
Yeah.
and be seen restaurants in this neighborhood. And she, except for one, Cafe Luxembourg. So
Right.
that's not where it was though. So I see Michael Douglas walk in, who was very frail looking even back then, and small, much smaller
Mhm.
than I thought he was.
But he also was sick. He had cancer.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and he is with his son and daughter. And the daughter, I noticed first because I was like, "Oh my god, she is stunning,
Stunning. She's beautiful. Yeah.
stunning." I was
Mhm.
like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
just one of
And
those people.
she's an actress now.
She is, I think she went to Brown. I mean, I think she, like, went
Yeah,
way
I
back.
just saw her like somewhere. I don't know that she's doing
Yeah,
something. Mhm.
yeah. So, anyway, um,
Yeah.
really, yeah, Brooklyn, and yes, I do need to see Wales. Is Scotland beautiful without the cold? I love Scotland. I am embarrassed to say I've never been to Wales, despite all my trips to England and, well, Britain and living, in London. I never went to Wales, and I've always wanted to go to Northern Wales. I've always wanted to go to,
Mm.
is it Snowdonia?
I
Whatever it's
just wanna
called.
I haven't been to that whole region and I would like to go. That's the land of my people, you know?
You've never been to the UK?
Mm.
Michelle,
I know.
we
I
gotta go to
know.
London.
I know. I know. Gotta go see
Um
Paddington. Gotta go see Paddington.
But Scotland is beautiful. Scotland is just remarkably
Yeah.
stunning.
Yeah.
So
Heidi was saying, she said, I understand Wales is still very untouched. I can almost hear the crashing sea. I've heard that as well.
mm,
It's just like green and beautiful and, you
and
know,
Cornwall too, right? Which is not so far, like west, the very west of England. I think that's also
yeah.
really beautiful. Do you have a tartan, Michelle? It's a good question. Is your
I
family
think
Scottish?
we're more Ireland, north and south. Not south, but real Ireland in the Northern Ireland.
Ooh,
I shouldn't
ooh,
have said that. I
baby,
should not have
ooh.
said that. I should not have said that. Roy McIlroy, don't come for me. Um, although one of my great grandfathers, as when he was coming here, wrote on the census free Ireland on his census as
Wow.
his home country. So I'll just say.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, a lot of UK and Ireland, um, and some German.
And Joe, LOL, Julie, you go to the UK, but you won't go to Brooklyn. I'll explain why. I can get on the subway here, get off at Penn Station, get on the train to JFK Airport,
Hmm.
get on the plane and be in London, and it's, I'm not even joking, Michelle is my witness, it is less of a hassle than switching trains to go to parts of Brooklyn.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's easy.
I prefer to like go to DC, like on the Acela, and then or Philadelphia or like Wilmington. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all easier to me than having to take 3 trains to get to Prospect
All
Heights.
right, can I just, since we're going off on a
Yeah,
kind
this
of
has nothing to do with Saudi Arabia,
not
but
anything to
it's
do with Saudi
fine.
Arabia, can I just say something? You
Hmm.
guys, I need help. I have to be in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks in August
Hmm.
to give a
Hmm.
speech.
Gonna be hot as
I mean, has anybody been to Vegas in August? Like, am I gonna, and I'm taking my son with me because he's, because I'm not even kidding. Remember how I said my son was like, oh my God, the one place I want to go is like Miami. It's like my dream in life to go to Miami. Remember that?
Yeah.
For this?
Is Vegas the other one?
Vegas is the other one. I go, you're 14. What do you do? Like, what are you looking for? Like, you're looking
You
for
could
the,
take him to see the Wizard of Oz at the
oh,
Sphere.
that is
I've heard.
exactly what we're doing, Michelle. Do you know how much this little excursion is costing me?
I can
I just thought we were
imagine.
gonna go see the Wizard of Oz.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
no,
The
no,
Wizard of Oz
no.
at the Sphere is a whole. It's like
It's
a
a whole
multi-sensory.
thing.
Yeah, there's wind, there's
Yeah, and
smells,
apparently
there's like
there's apples that fall during
your
the whole
seat
apple thing.
shakes. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Um, I know. So that is what I'm
Mhm.
doing. I'm taking him to go see the Wizard of Oz. It is a
Mhm.
fortune,
Yeah.
fortune.
Mhm.
And so is the ticket to Las Vegas. Like my ticket's being paid for because I want to go to Hoover Dam. I don't have time. I wish I could go to Hoover Dam. Also, it's really hot. I don't know if I want to go to Hoover Dam, but
Mhm. I
um,
mean, it's gonna be so hot, Julie.
it's going to be so hot.
Like no
You
one's
guys.
even gonna be outside. Do you know what I
I
mean?
know, I know. So I'm going to be like stuck in these casinos.
Mhm.
And my whole thing with Vegas, have you been? You've been, right? Okay. My whole thing with Las Vegas, to which I've not been in 20 years at least, is Vegas is good for 48 hours. By hour 49, if you're still in Las Vegas, you got to get the hell out of there. Like,
Yeah.
got to get out of there.
Mhm.
And
Can you smoke there in the casinos?
oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I assume so. I think you could do anything.
Ugh. You
But
can
it's
do
so funny
anything.
because well,
What
no,
happens in Vegas?
because my son literally is like, I've always wanted to go to Vegas. I'm like, for the gambling or the legalized prostitution? Which part of like your 14-year-old mind?
Mm.
He's like, huh? What? No, he's like, I just want to see it. I'm like, there's nothing to see. It's
Oh my
Vegas.
God. Pickleball podiatrist is saying, yes, smoking is still allowed. Ugh, disgusting.
Everywhere or just on the floor, the casino floor?
I think like on the casino floor, you can probably smoke.
Well, I'm not going to the casino floor.
Well, right. But even if you're just walking through, are you staying at one of the casino hotels? Yeah, you're not gonna be able to escape it. I hate to say. When I was in Atlantic City, I was like, "Ooh, this place sucks." It's
Oh,
Dr.
I have to
Eric.
use the
Hello,
word.
Dr. Eric. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Eric. Yeah. I am staying in one of the casinos because that's where I'm giving the speech. And
You're not
it's
gonna be able to escape it. Remember smoking and non-smoking? What a racket.
Did you ever smoke though?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, like, smoking, non-smoking. Like, as a kid, they were like, "Would you like a table, smoking or non-smoking?" You're like, "Oh
Oh,
no, let me sit
I
in this
flew.
non-smoking section that is just 5 feet from a guy
Okay,
puffing
Lori
a
Wright.
cigar."
Lori Wright. I live in Henderson. Without AC, there's no reason to be here. Okay, so I'm going to take him to the Wizard of Oz, which is at the Sphere, which I assume I could take a cab to. I don't even know where the Sphere is. But no, I know I can't bring him inside the casino onto the floor. I know,
Mm.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I have no interest. I don't gamble. I'm like, Vegas is not for me. It's
No,
not.
same. That's why I'm like, meh, not
Um,
for me.
yeah, it's not for me. Although I will say, for people who are not American, everybody keeps talking about how Times Square is the crossroads of the world, and I think that's true. Vegas is the crossroads of America. Like, you want to see all kinds of Americans, go to
Oh
Vegas.
yeah. Oh
Like, you
yeah.
see everybody.
Yep.
Like, that place is truly the crossroads of America. So I think that's kind of fascinating.
Yep.
Um,
I'm nervous for you in that heat because when my pals in Palm Springs say that for the month of August and part of September, like it's you don't go outside. Like there's nobody anywhere. Everyone's inside. Like the streets are bare. No one goes outside, and that's just a stone's throw from
okay. Johnny,
Vegas.
we need to have Johnny Serrabolo as like a guest on the show. You
I
worked on
know.
everything. You worked on the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere, but at Warner Brothers. Did you actually go to the Sphere to see it, or you just worked on it at Warner Brothers?
I'm assuming Warner
Jay,
Brothers was part of the production. Well, because what's his name, Jim Dolan or whatever, owns it.
yes, he owns a Sphere. I know. I know.
Mm, too bad.
I know. Oh, worked
I
at,
worked
at
on it
Warner Brothers.
at Warner
Oh, in
Brothers.
LA. Okay. All
Do you
right.
know what, like, the one thing I wish that I'd seen at the Sphere? Don't
Fish.
no, don't laugh at me.
What?
Backstreet Boys. Because let me tell you, if you've seen the clips from that show, redunculous. So cool. Like, so cool. So many of my friends went to this. I was so jealous. I'm not even a Backstreet Boys person, but I was like, that looks cool. And I feel as though I am in 10th grade again.
Well, I wanted to go see Fish, PHISH, at the Sphere because I love Fish. And unfortunately, I can never find anybody to go with me because nobody else besides me loves Fish.
Isn't Fish at Madison Square Garden right now?
What?
Yeah, because my old roommate is a huge Fish person. Huge.
Really?
She's been posting like on her Instagram like nonstop. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, this is where I'll be for the next 5 days."
Michelle, you're not a Fish person, right?
I couldn't name a Fish song if you asked me.
This is what I'm talking about. None of my friends like
You
Fish.
should be friends with my friend Chelsea.
Does Chelsea want to go to a
My
Fish
friend.
show with me? I would go to a
Oh
Fish
yeah,
show
she's
like
cool.
that.
She's cool as hell. Yeah, you should you
I want to be friends with Chelsea, if only to have
she
somebody.
works at ESPN. She's very cool.
I had a client about 10 years ago who uh, was in Colorado, and he ran. Okay, again, I'm not a pot person, but this is when pot was legalized in Colorado before it was legalized anywhere else. And he ran this chocolate. He was a chocolatier that had chocolate covered cannabis. And they had
Oh.
this, and so he had this whole factory in Colorado, and he was trying to get the New York Times to do a story on him. Oh my God. I did not know this. Look at all the stuff I'm learning
Yeah,
today. Screw
yeah.
Saudi Arabia. This is more important. So anyway, so he wanted to get the story into New York Times, so he hired me to get this profile from the Times, which I did.
Yeah.
But so he invited me to Denver to see his incredible Charlie Chocolate Factory marijuana
Wow. Is it
plant.
like Max Brenner kind of thing, but for weed chocolate?
No, it wasn't consumer. Like he couldn't go sit.
Okay.
Like he would sell it to like cannabis shops, but
Got it.
this
Got
is
it.
just the
Okay.
factory. But anyway, he hired some
Yeah.
guy from Brazil or something to like this chocolatier. Anyway, I had the chocolate without the cannabis because I hate cannabis because it's just not my cup of tea. But he had this whole thing and it was wonderful. And he sponsored this thing at a fish show at Red Rocks, which is of course an incredible. If you're,
Yeah.
like
No,
Red
I
Rocks.
would love. I would always.
So
wanted
I
to go.
went to the fish show at Red Rocks, and let me tell you, friends, that was amazing.
Yeah, I bet you
Amazing.
people were zooted off their gourds.
Off their gourds. I was the only person there who legitimately was not out of her mind. Everybody else was like
Yeah.
out of their minds, and it was phenomenal. And this is the best part. So he introduces me to his friend so first of all, let me just say this. Trey Anastasio, the lead singer of Fish, went to my high school, although, well, I think he's 10 years older than me, so like ahead of me. But there's a whole Princeton, New Jersey connection with Fish. And their main songwriter guy, the guy that helps her write these songs, I think also went to my high school and had kids at the time who went to my high school. So this guy, this pot guy introduces me to this guy who's the lead songwriter from Fish. And I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I am going to go backstage and I'm going to hang out with the band. And 19-year-old Julie is going to be like ecstatic, excited because this was like my band. I cannot tell you how much I love Fish. And I was like, this is the moment. So he introduces me to him. And I started talking to him. And I was like, oh, yes, I understand that you went to Princeton Day School. And like, that's where I went to. And blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm like, oh my God, we're in Colorado. What are the odds of like people like being from the same little town in New Jersey? He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, don't be heroes, guys.
And I was like, I've been such a fan of the band early on when you guys were playing college arenas. Like I really was before Fish became a big deal. He's like, oh, that's nice. It was like I was like,
how rude.
I don't think he was rude. I think he just didn't want to.
Yeah, didn't care.
Didn't care.
Like, okay, little girl, go away.
But I'm like, and I think at the time I was in the alumni board of the school. I'm like, I'm still very involved in the school. Like, he's like, yeah,
I didn't care.
Could not care less.
Unless your hero is Stephen Colbert, don't meet him. Don't meet him.
I know. He wasn't really a dick. Jay, I think he just probably didn't. Like, I mean, I wasn't like crazy. I was like, oh my God, I want to hang out with you and try.
Yeah.
But like, oh no, everybody knows who he is, Miss Binks. He's part of the band. He's with the band.
Yeah.
I know. All right, friends, I got to go take my dog to the vet. To find out why she's got weird stuff all over her ears and her body. Alex, I did not get high off the pot smoke because I have a very funny pot story to tell you guys. Maybe I'll tell it on Saturday at Saturdays for Sanity. I hate pot. Like I need to be the person they send to high schools to be like, kids, don't smoke pot because of the story that I will tell you on Saturday. Like seriously, I am your smoke. I'm your like, what were those things they showed in the 60s about like the pot, like where they try to scare you, those pot.
Oh, like Reefer Madness?
Like Reefer Madness? Like I am your walking Reefer Madness.
Which they remade into a new movie.
They did?
Yeah. Remember I just really quick. Remember I talked about my friend on Saturday who was in like the gay movie that I'd never seen, but he was a straight guy who was in this gay movie, part of like gay culture that was nobody knew about because it was the 90s or something. Anyways, he was officiated our wedding, Joe and me, or Joe and me, our wedding. And he was in the remake of Reefer Madness. So was his sister. And so were a bunch of other people. And they're now trying to make it into a Broadway musical. And they're going to produce it, my friend and his wife.
Nice. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jason Gale, you're in the Touch of Grey video dancing up by the stage? What? What? The Touch of Grey video from 1986? Off the In the Dark Grateful Dead album? I'm sorry. I know a little too much about this. You're in that video? I can remember that video, like the back of like it was right before me. Like they're playing on stage and they morph into little skeletons. Yeah. And apparently Jason Gale is in the audience. What? This is a whole different week. You guys,
no idea.
Okay, forget like Julie Gump stories. Like this whole audience has like crazy Gump stories.
Yeah, we should have like Chat Gump.
We should have Chat Gump. You know what? That's what we're going to do for our AMAs. We're going to have Chat Gump. Bring your best rando celebrity stories. Mine was that I once met Carrot Top. That's the whole story. Yes, Alex, it was Jerry Garcia's last video with the band. Also, the #1 selling Grateful Dead album, interestingly enough.
I mean, do you guys want to know about the night that Kieran Culkin stole my phone and texted every bunch of dirty stuff to people on my phone and then stole my glasses and threw them in the trash?
All right. This is going to make everybody feel better about the fact that Saudi Arabia is going to annihilate us all. We are going to do an AMA on Substack for our Substack paid subscribers. I don't care if you subscribe and then unsubscribe the next day. Please subscribe and bring your best Mayday Gump stories. Michelle will tell the story of Kieran Culkin. I'll think of something.
I'll never live it down.
Okay, still, it's a good story. Jason Gale, you better come and you better tell us an incredible You're in the Dark video story. That's amazing. I can tell the story of how I got drunk with the Blues Traveler guys in high school, but it's not really that important.
Wow.
Miss Binks, I want to hear yours. You got them?
Yeah.
Done. We are scheduling this.
Yep. And I got a Mr. Big story. I got a Mr. Big story too.
Oh, really? Is it a good Mr. Big story?
I think so. He was really nice. But he bought me a drink.
Oh.
A couple drinks, actually.
Oh, well, I hope it didn't.
And then we went to the back of the bar that he owned and watched burlesque. It was me and my other friend who was, it's a long story. It's a music venue. I was performing. But
did you make out with Mr. Big?
Oh my God, no.
Because if you did, you better tell us immediately.
No, it was not like that. It was not like that.
Okay.
He was just really nice. And he was like, what do you want to drink? And I was like, oh, some Jameson on the rocks. And he grabbed me and he went, Irish girl. He's like, let's hang out. And we were like, okay. I was like 25. It's ridiculous.
At the height of Sex in the City, like back when it was like, he was like Mr. Big?
No, it was over by then.
Michelle, make me feel
I know, I'm a lot younger than you. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, this is awesome. I still have to take this dog to the vet.
So let's do, how about, we don't know when we're going to do this Chat Gump.
How about this? I have an idea.
Okay.
By Saturdays for Sanity, we are going to know we're going to do the Chat Gump story. So tune in for Saturdays for Sanity on Saturday. And we will figure out when we're going to do it. And everybody better bring their Chat Gump stories because like I'm watching this feed and I can't believe some of the stories people have.
Yeah.
Jason hung out with the Spice Girls 2 weeks in London. Are you making stuff? I can't. Come on. Joe drank with Tom Petty, the Heartbreakers.
Okay, this is cool.
Annabelle doesn't understand Deadheads. I don't either, but I love the music. I just don't get the whole thing. Well, I do get the whole thing. By the way, the Grateful Deadhead thing, that's who follows Trump around the country. It's the same phenomenon. They don't even care.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Adam saw Pauly Shore, and then you hung out at a bar with him. I'm just looking on Substack. Like, everybody's got...
Did you ever hear Matthew Perry's story where he thought that he was hanging out with M. Night Shyamalan all night? And then he like kept bringing this. He's like, oh, I was like, oh, it was amazing. And we were going bar after bar until like I realized it wasn't M. Night Shyamalan.
Just some other random guy.
Random guy. I think he told the story on Graham Norton. I was like, oh my God, dude. Rest in peace. Yeah. So.
All right. All right, you guys. I love this, and I'm glad that we ended on such a happy note.
Yep.
That pickleball podiatrist, you have tons of hockey stories and a few with Nicole Kidman. I want to hear some Nicole Kidman stories. I can't tell if she's cool. I can't get a sense of her. Is she cool in real life?
I think she might be cool. I think she might be cool.
Rosie, your friends opened up for the Beastie Boys. Meanwhile, I saw the Beastie Boys open up for Madonna at the Like a Virgin concert and get booed off the stage. Yes. At Radio City Music Hall. It was my very first concert, and they got booed off the stage because everybody wanted to hear Madonna.
Get out. Wow.
Yes. Yes, Alex,
I love them, the Beast Boys.
the Beastie Well, one of them is
Mhm.
now dead,
Well,
unfortunately.
I know, but yeah.
You met John Casablancas as a model. I want to hear that story.
Yeah,
On the
burlesque.
stage.
Have I ever been to the Slipper Room? Duh.
Of course, we're from New
100%.
York. Of course, yes.
Love.
Um, now the Lower East Side also refused to go down
Very
there.
far.
Very far, very
Very
far. You
far.
don't have to cross the East River, but
No,
almost.
but you
You're
might
one
as
stop
well.
away. One
Mhm.
stop away from Brooklyn, too far.
I was like, when the avenues start having letters, I'm like, "Ooh, it's
Yeah,
happening."
yeah, well, yeah. Um,
We're the oldest people ever. But
I'm
we
like,
should go because we've been at this.
I'm procrastinating leaving my house to go 2 blocks to the vet. This is how pathetic this is.
Yeah.
You're asking
Uh-huh.
me about the Lower East Side?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
You weren't good looking enough for him to traffic me. That's not true. I don't have a Coachella story. I don't know about Michelle. I've never
No,
gone to
I've never
Coachella.
been. Oh,
I'm not a
although I was near Coachella and it surge price for all the Ubers in Palm
yeah,
Springs. It was terrible.
not a festival girl. I
Yeah,
cannot
it was the same week as the Pollies, and I was like, "Come on, man. This is terrible."
I cannot
Everything
imagine.
was like a bajillion dollars. Mhm.
Yeah, I cannot imagine anything that I'd like to do less
Mhm.
than go to Coachella or to like any
Go
music
to
festival.
Polly's. Go to the Polly's maybe.
Yeah, Polly.
Polly's might be worse.
Well, Polly's are annoying because everybody's like, I want a Polly. I want a Polly. It's like, shut the fuck. Like a Polly's not.
I mean,
Polly's what political. It's the Oscars for political consultants. Michelle's got a few Pollys.
I do. I have 18 of them.
Oh my God, Michelle, I'm gonna make fun of you because I always
So,
make fun of people who are like, look at my Pollys. Like it's a
well, what
Polly.
else am I supposed to do with them? They're up there with my Webbies and my husband's backgammon trophies.
Well, the Webbies are cool. Oh, Burning
Yeah.
Man. You're right. I'd rather go to Coachella than Burning Man. Burning Man may be even worse than Coachella. True.
All of it just reeks
All
of
of
like
it just
private
awful.
equity. It
Yeah.
reeks of private equity. Like,
Um,
and rich people trying to sell stuff to liberals. That's just always what I think
Hey,
about it.
Kev, you have hung out with Ricky Gervais. I love, love, love Ricky Gervais.
He's my favorite atheist.
Bring that story.
Other than Barack Obama.
Bring that story. Bring that story with you. I want to hear about Ricky Gervais. And you have this friend named Julie. She goes on TV all the time. Yeah, that's not cool. I meet randos. Yeah, I don't meet Ricky Gervais at Fox. I met Cliff Clavin at Fox. That's about as cool as it got. Okay. I got to go to the vet. I kept saying that half
no
an
more
hour ago.
procrastinating.
No more procrastinating.
And I saw my husband feels like he needs to tell me something, so I'm going to go talk to him.
All right. I'm going to go and get out of the house.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yep, you can do it. I believe
But I'm going to do it.
It's a beautiful day. Have you been outside yet, though?
I
You
did.
You took the dog for the walk.
I took one of my dogs for a
walk. It's a beautiful day in New York City today. It's a beautiful day.
It is. It is. You met Sam Kinison at Steak and Shake. All right. Save these stories because these are all hilarious.
Save them and come join us.
We're
soon.
doing Chat Gump. Bring your stories.
Yep.
Love the story.
Yep.
We'll let you know on Saturday when we're doing it.
Yep.
I wish you were now, but I got to go to the vet. Bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.